Need a lot of money to start a business. I laugh in Swahili. In this economy, the reality is you will crumble that business even before it takes off. Right. Hi guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel. If this is your first time here, make sure that you are liking, you're subscribing, and you're sharing this video. So today I'm going to be debunking some myths around starting a business. All right. So if you actually think that you need a lot of money to start a business, or you had one other very unrealistic expectations, I'm going to be sharing some truths. So make sure you watch till the end. So the first myth is you need a lot of money to start a business. Well, not exactly true. See, it depends on the kind of business you want to start. But my personal advice is usually you need to start small and then grow. Especially if you've not done a business before. If you're a first-time founder, then you want to validate your business idea. You want to make sure that you have what we call like an MVP, a minimum viable product if you're into the tech, or at least you've tested your product, right? So if you want to say start a poultry, before you go and get a loan for 100 birds, try to go and buy five, grow them or resell them and make sure that you have traction, right? Before you go and pour in money. So, myth is you need a lot of money. I say, and the truth is, one, it depends on the kind of business. And then two, regardless of the kind of business, always do it small first and then scale it from there. So I don't think you need a lot of money to start a business. Another myth is you need to quit your job to start a business. I laugh in Swahili. In this economy, well, again, I don't think that is always true. For instance, I started out my business while I was a full time employee, right? And I know a lot of founders who started out their business as full time employees and even still are full time employees of other organizations. So the first thing is how well can you manage your time, right? So there are different phases of the business. If you're just starting out and you don't have another source of income, it would be unwise to quit your job and focus on starting a business. You've not grown traction, there's no way to sustain yourself. The reality is you will crumble that business before it takes off because the business will start catering to your needs and things like that. If you have a full-time job right now, I would say carve out a schedule for your business, right? If you want to use your weekends to work on your business, Saturday and Sundays, then go ahead and do that. I know it can be a lot, but if you really want to be an entrepreneur, then you have to be willing to go the extra mile. So if you get off work by 5 p.m., rather than going to bed at say 9 p.m. when you get home, spend another 2 hours per day to work on your business and do that maybe say 3 times a week, right? And as your business grows, you then start to manage better, prioritize. If you can afford getting an assistant, then get an assistant. If you've watched our first video, I did mention Growth Padi started by me getting an assistant, and then my assistant needed an assistant in a full-time job. So yes, you don't need to quit your job right away. Of course, at some point in your business journey, you might need to shift and focus, but that's only when you've seen significant traction. And I know some of you may say, yeah, but when I'm trying to raise investment, some investors want to know if I'm a full-time founder. Yeah, get there first, right? Let somebody be like saying, oh, your business is worth XY Z amount of dollars, but I see you're not a full-time founder. Like when that problem comes, solve it. But don't quit your job right now to start a business. If you're just starting, you're going to feel frustrated in the long run. So the final myth I'm going to be debunking today is that you need to have everything figured out before you start a business. I laugh. An impossibility. It's simply not possible. It's an unrealistic expectation. And if you have to have everything figured out, you're never going to start, my dear. Here's where you start. Book a consultation call with Growth Padi. It's free, right? Um let's help you structure it out. Or even if you don't want to book a call, sit down, go on Google, download a BMC, right? It's called a business model canvas. Like it's basically 9 part template or document that helps you answer key questions about your business. What's your value proposition? Who are your customers? What are your key activities? Once you can flesh that out, you have a very good view of a couple of things. How am I going to make money? What is my product going to look like, or service, as the case may be? What is going to make me different from the my competitors out there? What are the key resources that I need? What are the key activities that I'm going to be doing, right, starting this business? Once, and then finally for me, like, how am I going to be communicating my business or my product to my target audience? Who are my buyers? Once you've answered these questions, then you've got to start where you are. Start with what you have. I'm sure you've heard this a million times. And for a lot of entrepreneurs, especially when you're new to starting a business, it's as if, oh, that sounds overwhelming. Where do I start? That's why you have a clarity conversation. We basically help you, put it into roadmaps or activities. You get like a checklist, right? Of say, step one, do this. I mean, it's great to register your business name, right? I'm sure some of you have done that. That's an easy part to do. But even in the actual operation, step one, do this. Step two, do this. Your business registration is going to be part of it. Like, we'll break it down for you into all of the steps that you need to start taking. But the short answer is you cannot wait till you have everything figured out, because entrepreneurship is like, it's like a marriage, right? When you get married, you don't have it all figured out. You trust the process and you trust your partner. It's the same thing. You have to trust your business idea. You have to trust the entrepreneur that you are in your capacity, and you've got to just start, right? So you start that wedding, that journey, and you keep figuring it out as you go along. The biggest businesses today are still figuring things out. So don't let that stop you. If you're thinking and overthinking things, you're never going to start, right? Start today. Book your call today. It's free. Let's help you get started and move past that blocker. I hope you found this useful and insightful today. And if you were a believers in one of these myths, I hope that they've been clarified. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and share. And we'll see you on the next video. Bye.